Hey everyone and welcome back. In the last video I showed you how to create a selection using the pen tool and then extract it from the background. While the extraction looked okay on the sharp edge statue, what if we were dealing with a person with flowing hair or an animal with fluffy fur? Using the last method will result in very ugly edges. Let me show you a great tool in Photoshop which will help drastically improve your selections. For the start of my selection, I'm going to simply grab the quick selection tool in my tools bar and create a very basic selection of our subject. The nice thing about RefineEdge, which we're about to take a look at, is that it does a lot of the dirty work for you. So don't worry if your selection isn't 100% accurate. We'll deal with that in a moment. So now that our sloppy selection is complete, let's take a look at RefineEdge. This feature works to select those hard to get bits which would otherwise get left behind. The nice thing about RefineEdge is that you don't have to create your selection with a specific tool. You're free to use any tool that you feel suits your image best. Once the selection is made, it's time to refine it. RefineEdge can be accessed in a few ways. You can either go up to the Select menu and choose RefineEdge, or you can use a shortcut. On the Mac, it's Command Option and R. On Windows, it's Control Option and R. The first area of the RefineEdge window you should take note of are the View options. We're given a few different ways we can view our final outcome. In most cases it comes down to personal preference, but some views have their advantage. Typically I like viewing my subject on a white background or as a silhouette. I find that it makes it easier to see the finer details. You'll see why in a moment. When dealing with selections that contain hair or fur, Smart Radius, which was introduced in Photoshop CS5, will improve your selections by automatically detecting key edges which may not have been initially selected. In the image below, you can already see a huge difference only by turning on Smart Radius and increasing the radius slightly. Now down in the Adjust Edge section, you can further refine your selection by smoothing the edges out, feathering the edges, increasing the contrast of the edges, and you can even shift the edge if needed. This will pull the edge closer or further from the subject. Sometimes tightening the edge, which is done by moving the Shift slider to the left, can improve your overall result. The next option is Decontaminate Colors. This option doesn't hurt to turn on, but it really comes in handy if the color from the background is spilling onto your subject. For instance, if you're shooting your model against a green screen, more often than not you'll see green reflections on your model's hair. Turning on and increasing Decontaminate Colors will help deal with those pesky colors. We also have the Refine Radius tool, which you can find on the left-hand side of this window. It's basically a brush that allows you to paint over areas of your photo which you'd like to include in your selection. Using this tool can help grab those pesky stray hairs that might have been missed even when Smart Radius has been turned on. And of course, if you need to remove unwanted areas from your selection, there's also the Erase Refinements tool. Now finally, how do you want your result to be outputted? Normally, I output my result as a new layer with Layer Mask. This way I can easily make changes to the mask later on in my edit. If you have Decontaminate Colors turned on, Selection and Layer Mask will not be a selectable option. This is because the Decontaminate Color option makes color corrections to your layer. Outputting just as a selection would defeat the purpose. Now pressing OK will show us the much improved selection where you can really see how much more accurate we were able to make the selection using RefineEdge. We'll see you in the next video.